welcome to Interview with Jane Volume 4. And today I'm sitting here with the senpai of Technical Grindcore. Please welcome Cognizant.
Hi, I'm Irving. This is Kevin,
Okay, so you said this is
vocalist,
the
guitarist.
first time ever doing the remote interview, right?
I think so with video. Kevin and I did a.
We did a radio thing. I guess it was like, was it Gimme Metal or something like
Give Me
that?
Metal Radio.
It's an app that I guess they have
Mm.
like a different,
Oh,
I don't know,
radio.
genres of metal. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was like during COVID, but as far as like video stuff, I've never done one.
Yeah, with no video, just audio.
Oh, okay, okay. By the way, this is
Yeah,
isn't it on YouTube?
yeah. I think that's also on YouTube. Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe.
didn't know that. By the way, my dog is
Brian,
barking. Sorry for the disturbing.
you're gonna hear you're gonna hear my dog's bark in a minute, so no worries. It'll be a dog party. Which, by the way, I call the band Cog Dogs. When they
Oh,
say, "Hey, Cog
really?
Dog," yeah,
Yeah.
COGDOG. Just a cheeky way of calling my friends or whatever.
The other dog just walked in. I
Yeah.
guess heard the other.
Dusty, come here. Oh yeah, both of the dogs are in here now. But yeah. What were we talking about? I'm sorry.
Okay, okay. About a remote interview, but we can skip this one. So let's start with the typical questions. So first question. So first of all, could you briefly introduce yourself and the band?
You want to go first, Kevin?
I'm Kevin. I do vocals in the band, and obviously I write the lyrics too. So, and Irving.
I'm Irving. I write the songs with Brian on guitar, and I don't know. Oh, I have to record the bands. Yeah, this is Peanut.
Peanut. Oh
Or-
my God.
Dusty. And then I'll introduce Dusty. Oh, never mind. He left.
left.
Dusty. But yeah, I'm Irving. He's Kevin. We've started the band maybe, I don't know, 12,
2000,
2016, 14,
I
13.
think 15, late 15 or
Yeah.
early 16.
But we met in 2013.
Oh, 2013. That's pretty before. No,
Mhm.
you like if I remember it correct, you released your first album in oh my God, I forgot it. I
2016, I
remember the
think
release year
2016.
of your second album, but I forgot the release year of your first album.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah.
2016. Okay, then 3 years before you released it.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, 3 years. We take a while to, get together and plan things out. Um, Mainly because we have a bad habit of just jamming and writing a lot, and we don't
Mm.
stop and try to record. At least me and Brian, But I
Oh.
also have a small business, so that takes up a lot of my time. But
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
little difficult for everybody to get together. I mean, as terms of now, yeah, but I mean, whenever we get time, we'll sit in a room and try to jam and try to write. I know Alex will write riffs like by himself, and then like will come to practice and like show us what he's written. But majority of the time, Irving and Brian are usually in the jam space, kind of just writing most of the time. So
mhm,
I
yeah,
usually write till later. So, but
yeah,
that's how usually how it works.
Mm.
Especially going into the studio, I kind of try to like track, like not track, but I try to come up with vocal stuff. Not like really write. I, Technically, I will write certain things, but then I'll kind of like puzzle in the pieces later on and just kind of get a feel of like what the music is at first. But usually that's how you kind of write stuff. But right now, like I know Alex kind of lives for like 3 hours away.
yeah. Alex lives maybe 3 hours away, so
Oh.
he's also just one to work really hard a lot. So
Yeah. So
we don't see him much, but when he does come around, he usually has like a lot of technical riffs.
Mm.
Me, I might have more of like the sing songy, simple nursery rhyme type riff, you know, and he has like the just up and down the neck, technicality, you know. But anyways, I hope that answered your question. I don't know if we're trailing off.
Definitely, definitely. Like, thank you for the explanation. Anyway, let's move on to the second one. But before we move on to the second one, I'm gonna relax my dog real quick because I'm
Okay.
kind of like
Yeah, no worries.
distracting.
You're
So,
totally
okay,
fine.
okay. Hey, this is my dog, by the way.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
he's barking every day, 24/7.
Look, he looks like a dog. I mean, he looks like a toy.
Yeah.
Like a fake dog, but he's real. That's so weird.
Okay, you stay
That's
here.
cool.
They just wanted attention.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. He just wanted attention. I just put him down on the bed and he keeps staring at me. I don't know
They
why.
want to be inclusive. Yeah.
Okay, so next question. If you
Did
have to.
you
Uh-huh.
did you want to try that again and edit it out, or go to the next question?
No, no, no.
However
I'm
you
gonna
want to
edit
do
the
it.
whole thing. I'm gonna edit the whole
Okay.
video clip, so you don't need to worry.
All right.
Cool.
Okay, so let's move on to the second question. If you have to introduce your music to someone who has never heard you before, how would you describe it?
Mm,
Mm,
very
it,
noisy.
yeah, it's funny because I get this question a lot from like people like it could be anybody who doesn't listen to like metal or anything underground metal stuff. There's dogs. See, we got a dual action going on.
Shit!
Peanut, Dusty, stop. Yeah.
Okay, okay, they are doing interviews too. Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah,
Okay, can you please continue? Okay.
yeah. I was saying earlier about like it's funny because like people like at work or something will try to like it's like, oh, you play in a band? Like, what's the type of music? But you always get like those people that say, oh, is it like Slipknot or is it like Lamb of God or is it like Metallica? And I just kind of just roll my eyes about it. But usually I just tell them it's just underground like metal and it's fast and pretty abrasive. You gotta have to have the ear for it. If not, most people are gonna think it sucks or don't like it. I mean, obviously, like not to like downplay those bands I just mentioned, but a lot of those bands, like people that listen to like bands like those bands like Slipknot and stuff, they tend to like be more commercialized, or like listen to bands like Killswitch Engage or something like that.
Yeah, it's very, there is like a tempo and like a beat to it, but you either understand it or you don't. And there are some people who do understand it that you would never think that they would understand, but it is musical in a way, but it is very, how we record it and how we write it, it's very just strange and not very appealing to a lot of people, and even some metalheads. You know,
Yeah,
I might say that my riffs are a bit sing-songy, but some other people might be like, it's not Slipknot enough, it's not
Mm,
pop rock enough or whatever. Um, I don't know. It's. I think we really are unique. Maybe not like super amazing, but I think we are different in our own way. You know, because we can either be very dark or very, I guess, happy in some sections. Back and forth. You know.
yeah,
yeah, I can agree with that because like in Korea, the most of the popular genre is pop music or hip hop music. And if I tell someone like, oh, this music has some melodical riffs, and they always thought something like Justin Bieber or Taylor Swift or
Yeah.
something. But
I mean, it's the
like,
same way.
yeah, like, and when I let them listen to grindcore, and they were like, "Is this some music or something? Is this?"
Yeah, literally, literally. Yeah, I mean, it's the same way here. You know, hip hop or club music,
Mm.
um, or indie, especially like hardcore two step right now is very
Oh.
very big,
Yeah, that's probably one of the bigger genres in the
especially here.
U.S. Yeah,
Is like the hardcore two step.
or
Um,
deathcore, or beatdown, or whatever you want to
yeah,
call it.
the MySpace era is back. Yeah, yeah. So um, we're just too weird and different, too noisy, you know. And even some of the grindcore guys, when we first came out, they understood that we considered ourselves grindcore in the spectrum of grindcore, but they and ourselves understood that we're still very much different, even if we have
Mm.
the elements tied to it. You know, of course, with bands like Gridlink and Antigama, they also consider themselves grindcore, but they're still very much, a different element, whether
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
dissonance or emotional or whatever. I still consider it in the same spectrum, and we would like to play more grindcore shows.
Mm.
If the show allows it. Some people might be strict. Even we are strict sometimes with ourselves, but you know, it's
Yeah.
just noise to us. In a way, still black metal, still grindcore, still noise. I don't know.
I just think we everything that we do, we kind of just whatever we all like. Cause like I know for a fact, like most of us all listen to all sorts of stuff. I know for like Alex, like the other guitarist, he listens to more like black metal type stuff, and like me, I listen to more like death metal, like dissonant death metal. Where like Brian and Irving listen like more grindcore type stuff. And Brad kind of is like all like in the middle of all the modern stuff, and Brad's our bass player, by the way. And
Yeah, Brad's our bass player.
but like we just like to put everything that we like to listen to in a blender and see what happens.
Yeah, and the first album, it was very much just trying to figure out what we want to sound like. So the first album might sound a little bit more open,
Yeah, yeah, I
and
thought like that too.
yeah, you know what I mean. Versus now we know what we want, what we sound like, and how others see us.
Mm. But I think
Yeah.
like Cognizant has its own sound of like other grindcores. Like, um,
Mhm.
I I cannot say I listen to many grindcore albums, but every time I listen to grindcore albums, and they somehow sound like pretty similar to me. But Cognizant, I
Mhm.
love Cognizant because you have your own sound, like some dark vibe or
Mhm.
atmosphere or something like that, and I really love it. I really love it.
Thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you.
That means a lot. Yeah. I mean, grindcore is very. It in a way it's a bit copy paste, but it
Yeah.
kind of has to be like that. Like it's very acceptable. Much like slam or black metal or whatever. Like the same formula. And I don't get bored of it. I
Mm.
like the same riff, the same
Oh.
tempo. I like that. Like that's why I like club music too because it's just the same. Like
Oh, okay.
um, so it's I don't know. It's when I'm in the mood, I can listen to it in repeat all day, months. Mhm.
That's pretty cool. Anyway, so let's move on to the next question. So, Cognizant is known as a technical grindcore band, am I right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I guess so. Yeah,
Kind
I
We
of.
mean,
all
Well,
have our own differences. Like you might call it, what is it? Angular grind.
angular, like dark grindcore, very
um,
sharp precision, like kind of just straight, like not straightforward. Because I mean, like as far as like technical ass point, like at like point where like like it's just like fast and like kind of like straight to the point, like, but it's still like different, like outside the box. So like to me, I think that's what like as far as
Mm.
technical grindcore would be, I guess. So I don't know.
Yeah, like angular, dark angular grindcore, technical
Oh.
grindcore, psychedelic
Yeah.
grindcore. I don't know. But yeah, to narrow it down, especially now because you guys, Hua, is that how you say the name? Hua? Is
Yeah,
that your
wow,
band
wow.
name?
Yeah, wow.
So, younger guys like you guys have, you know, opened that direction to say, okay, there is a possibility that technical grindcore is going to continue,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just New York City technical grindcore or Texas grindcore. Um, so to simplify, I think technical grindcore, would probably fit. I don't know. That's my opinion, but that's yeah.
Okay, so what is the most, in your opinion, what's the most important elements of your genre? Like technical
Mm.
grindcore, like whatever you're doing right now?
To me, I mean, yeah, technical is like the key, but also kind of like I said, like I guess like what Irving was saying earlier about like being like as far like the bands that you would typically would normally think are actual grindcore bands like Napalm Death or Terrorizer or like to those bands that kind of paved the way for bands like us. It's just kind of to be different but still the same, and like I think just kind of being outside your shell, doesn't have to be like the copy paste like because there's so many bands out there that want to sound like Napalm Death or you know uh, Terrorizer or just straightforward, grindcore.
Yeah, yeah, but I think yeah, like he's saying, like grindcore is already a mix of a lot of things, but with Cognizant, D beats, that's very essential. Blast beats, that's essential. Thrash beats, but I think what makes Cognizant unique is that we have like salsa type, beats or jazz type beats, especially like on the ride. If Brian's doing like a ting ting, like ting 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 ting, he might
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
make it off beat and just ting 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 ting, but
Like kind of progressive, I
yeah,
guess. Yeah.
progressive polyrhythmic beat. Like one hand can do something and the other hand can do another thing, and especially with the new song that we have, Brian's like doing a blast on the ride, but also a blast on the tom and snare at the same time, going
Whoa.
up and down every drum. Yeah, so um and we have influence of like Morbid Angel or Immolation, where a lot of the like drony fat chords integrate with the simple banana beats, banana 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 banana, or whatever grindy copy paste riff, or what Dorian would call the alarm clock, like wah, 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 wah,
Mm.
stabbing type beats. It's all that's very essential. It's a lot, but I think that's what makes Cognizant.
Oh, thank you for the explanation. So let's move on to the next question. Let's talk about your first album, first self-title. So is there an overarching theme or concept that ties the album together?
Uh, theme not so much because when we were writing a lot of those songs from that first album, we were kind of transitioning from like I guess one project to another. So basically, we did like we didn't want to sound like the last project that we were doing, but we kind of wanted to take the same vein and kind of wanted to make it a little bit more darker. So I think that, I mean, as far as like me writing the lyrics for that, anything that I write for like Cognizant is a little personal to me. Like I don't really write about like stuff like I don't know, like to me, like when I say personal, it's like stuff that I go through, like just life in general. Like obviously death,
Yeah, go ahead.
death is like one of those things that I tend to write a lot because like it's not that I have it in my mind all the time, more or less. It's just like a theme that I tend to write about because I don't know, not to be like I guess morbid or dark. I guess it's just like I mean, at some point, we're all gonna die. So like I just think like I just want to keep like the consistency of like writing something that like I know for a fact is gonna happen. I guess more or less. But there's not really a theme. Like it's just a lot of like
Still very abstract,
yeah, very abstract and like just
random.
random stuff. Like I don't know, like just like personal feelings. Like personal. Like a lot of it has to do with like mental, like trying to have mental stability, like under oppression, like states, and like trying to survive, life because everyone can agree that life's hard. It's hard to live, especially I don't care where in the country you live. It's hard. It's hard to maintain like a living stability life because you get drained. Work. It could be work, family, whatever.
Emotionally or financially, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think we have lyrics like you said, and they tie to oppression, um maybe a little bit of an outlook on religion, but that still just goes back to oppression and you know
Yeah, we're like none of us are into we're not religious people, so like, but we're not like Satanists or anything either. It's
yeah, we're
just
not like because people have asked us like, are you guys a religious band? And it's mostly based on oppression, how you're supposed to be, who you were supposed to be, and being so strict on yourself, you know, uh, corruption, oppression, maybe like a little bit of marijuana and psychedelics in the lyrics, but that's about it.
yeah.
Um, yeah, emotional stress, mental health, all the above. You know,
Okay,
we're
maybe.
retarded, basically. Yeah,
Okay, I can somehow expect it about your theme, like emotional stress or, or something
yeah,
like that. Because when I looked into your album cover of your second album, the guy who really doing like this, or something like that,
yeah,
yeah. And it really gives me that vibe, that dark vibe or like mental issue or something. And it really
yeah. I think
suits
the
your
second,
thought. Yeah.
yeah, in the second album, personally, me, maybe not the rest of the guys, I wanted that mental stress and that psychosis
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
and even from that last album, I carry it within me to think that every project I will write about is from mental stress or
Oh.
inner conflict,
Mm.
and yeah, I mean, just the way you see that guy. I don't know if you saw the fat guy and the skinny guy, but they're both very much, you know, uh, just mentally stressed and mentally not there. And those are the repercussions that, one gets from like unchecked mental health, or maybe it's not even them. It could be, somebody messing with them and somebody making them feel like, their life is no good or that their worth isn't any good. And what can you do when you can't escape that? What can you do when you have to live with that person? There is no escape, you know, in some ways. But anyways, that's getting too deep. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like mental stress. You're like, you're driving me crazy. You know.
Gotcha.
I think the
Okay.
music. Yeah,
Okay, okay. You think the
no, I was
music
gonna.
in?
Oh, sorry, to cut you off. I was gonna say like it adds to the music, the way it is, like all over the place, fast, and like yeah, like Irving was saying, just kind of seems like you want to rip your hair out, you know? Just
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
like especially right now with the Trump era, like
Mhm.
holy crap, man. Yeah. Anyway, next question.
Next question. Okay, so personally, I was really impressed by Brian's drumming on the first album, as you said before. Like, especially for his drumming skills or some kind of like abilities. So, especially the drum rolls and oppression. Do you remember that? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was really
Yeah.
impressed by that, and oh,
Yeah,
it's fine,
yeah.
it's fine. Anyway, who was mainly responsible for writing the songs, and was there anything in particular that you paid special
That
attention
was
to during the songwriting process?
um usually we'll sit in a room and we'll noodle around, like we'll just make noise until one of us says, "Hey, repeat that in circles." And we'll play it in circles and Brian will improvise. Um and side note here, that's how I learned to write, was by improvising together and just not thinking so hard, but just letting letting it out. And if it sounds bad, don't worry about it until something sounds good. And when I came up with that riff, that weird grind riff, um, Brian just did some sort of jazz beat, some sort of weird, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I consider it jazz, but a jazz nerd might be like, "Fuck no, that is not jazz." But his one of his biggest influences is Brand Daler from Mastodon.
or
What
Brandon Thomas
Brandon
from
Thomas
Ripping Corpse.
from Ripping Corpse. They both have so much knowledge on drums,
Mm.
because they are technical drummers. They both use the snare a lot. So Brian, you know, took a lot of influence from those two drummers, Brandon Thomas and Brand Daler.
Oh.
Um, so yeah, because they in the '90s and '80s, those two drummers played in a lot of what you call technical death metal. Back then, technical death metal was very different from what it is today. Um,
Mm.
but it's still, in my opinion, a staple and a starting point to technical death metal. You know, um, yeah. But that's basically where he does that snare thing. That's like a Brand Daler, Brandon Thomas,
Or even Dave Whitty,
Dave Whitty from
Mm.
Melt Banana, and
Corn Axis,
Discordance Axis.
Human
What
Remains.
Human Remains. But Brian just does his own flavor, and that's what you hear is those influences. Dave Whitty, Brandon Thomas, Brand Daler. Yeah, and he's an insane guy. You can just play one note and Brian will do something with it.
Ooh.
So
Is
talented.
he the one who usually gives you the idea?
Yeah, there's been a few times where Brian, you know, because in the beginning I wasn't very good at songwriting. I was more of like, hey, you tell me what to play.
Mm.
So Brian was very directive, and but of course at the end of the day it was my flavor, my way of playing, but with a lot of direction, and with him is how I succeeded. We both made something together, um, because he's very in tune with piano.
Ooh.
So he would get his phone and he would say, do this. He would tell me how to play something very simple, and I would mimic it on guitar because it's grindcore is so easy. I say easy, but it's very, if you know how to play a guitar, riff, grindcore riff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys are so talented. Because
Thank
I don't belong to the songwriting of pop, but I also saw my band members writing some songs, and they literally took more than a month to write one song.
Yeah, y'all's guitar. I don't know his name. The guitarist. I don't really talk to him too much. I
Uh,
talked to drummer Gopchang. I think
yeah,
is
yeah,
that his
yeah,
name? How do you
yeah.
say his name?
Yeah, Gopchang, and
Uh,
the guitarist name is Sexy Prince. I don't know why he named that thing.
oh yeah, Sexy Prince. So I don't know him too much, but I hear what he plays, and he's just one of those freaks that he knows what he's doing, and he knows the articulation and the mathematics
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
guitar,
definitely,
and
definitely.
you know, yeah, for sure, it's crazy.
Yeah, he's definitely had lots of knowledge and how can I say, like some musical things, like kind of like jazz or harmonics and whatever.
Yeah,
And he's kind of like freak, as I said before. So it, I
yeah,
can understand that it usually takes more than a month to write one song, but oh, we
yeah.
are not pretty
That's part of the
improvised,
process.
so
I was forced to think that way because Brian would be in a way upset if I did not think of something fast. So that pressure and the spontaneous, like, hey, I want to write a song today. It's like, oh no, no, I can't. I'm not ready. But he's like, no, you do it. You pick up the guitar and try. And now I can do that with
oh.
anybody. But I want to play like Alex. Alex, the other guitarist, very technical, very impressive. Where I do like sing song, nursery rhyme, simple type, riff. You know.
Okay, so thank you for answering, and let's move on to the next question. So you guys covered discordance accesses, oratorio in gray, and what was the most challenging part of recording that cover?
For me, more or less, it's funny because I honestly didn't want to try to sound like John Chang on vocals, but like I know, like I guess like I could know from a standpoint where Irving was talking about. We were discussing about this earlier, and it was just kind of because like Brian tends to play that song a little faster than the actual version. So that was one thing we had to do is like kind of keep up with him. And like I don't know, Irving can speak for himself, but as far as me, like I don't know, just more challenging thing I think for me vocally was, I mean, just not to try to sound like John Chang. I
Oh,
just wanted to, I kind of wanted to sound like put in a sense where like how we would, like let's say if Cognizant were to write that song, like how would we do it?
Yeah, and naturally, I think the anxiety in me, we just wrote it fast or played it, covered it fast. Um, yeah, but I think like slower is better these days. More groove, you know, more you can hear it better. But that was very challenging because it was just too fast sometimes. That fast, like it's super hard.
Yeah, that's sped up pretty fast in the actual version.
yeah,
Yeah,
I can agree with that. Like most of the discordance accesses song is really fast and really aggressive. So I also, as a member of Hua, when we perform in live, we sometimes do some cover songs of discordance access. And okay, so here's the problem. So my drummer, our drummer, he used to play faster than he practiced before. So whenever I try to follow that fast drum, the guitar and the vocal is really collapsed, and I was totally running out of breath.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's hard. Like, how do you catch those breaths in between, such a phrase that might go too fast or that runs too long, and then you have to be ready to execute the next phrase. But how do you do that when you have to catch that breath? Like
Yeah, it's
it's
really
hard.
hard
And
to detect it.
yeah, it's I couldn't do that. It's hard for me. I wish I could do vocals like you guys can do that stuff, but I can't. It's
But
really
you're
hard.
good at playing guitar.
Yeah, I'll just stick to guitar.
So, anyway, let's move on to the individual questions. So, I'd like to ask Irving first, and I really love Cognizant's dark, intricate guitar work. So, where do you usually draw inspiration for your guitar riffs?
um, Gorguts really a lot. Um,
Organs.
the Wisdom of Hate and the Obscura album. When it comes to like dissonant stuff, and then the Japanese grindcore bands, all the famous ones, 324,
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Realized. Um, they took a lot of influence, and Alex, my other guitarist, he's a big influence as well. His way of writing black metal and grindcore is unique, and I really like it. Um, so a lot of that black metal harp type sounds, like when you do the dissonant open chords, um, I'm obsessed with them. I like them. I try to find new ways to make them sound, and uh, Alex really, um, brings more new taste into it, and it's a big influence on me. He might not know that, but I think he
Oh.
does know. In a way, he does know.
I should listen to Gorguts album once more because I listened to their album like I don't remember exactly, but maybe 4 or 5 years before. But it was definitely not my taste, so I was really, the song really skipped my brain. But anyway,
Yeah, it's very bitter to hear. So don't feel too bad. You know.
I don't remember what genre it was. So
Hmm.
what
Yeah,
what what was it? Which genre?
it's like avant-garde, maybe doom, maybe
Oh.
black metal.
Um, I would say they're like like an avant-garde technical death metal band, like
Yeah, because
real dissonant. Yeah,
it's still very slow. It's not
yeah,
very fast.
Mm.
real real groovy. It's got like those melancholy slow riffs where they kind of make you feel like you're riding on a wave or something like that.
Or like a fever dream or
Yeah.
something. They had another band called Negativa.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they only did one demo. The
Oh.
the guitarist died. Yeah, but
Ah.
that avant-garde death metal is like a big thing for Cognizant.
Mm.
Black metal, dissonant.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for answering. And this is kind of like more personal question, but what's your favorite Buddhist item or artifact that you collected so far?
Uh,
I was really
I'm still
curious.
trying to collect them. I'm still trying to collect them. Today I got like a Buddha statue, maybe 13 inches.
Oh.
Um, yeah, for my front door because a lot of Christians knock on the door, and I'm getting very tired of it because they come in early morning weekends, and I want to sleep in, and I hope they get the idea that I'm not very much interested in going to their church. But yeah, I just have like a Buddhist statue, and then like a little small one that my friend from California gave me. Um, I have like a Buddhist poster in the hallway.
Whoa.
You know, yeah, I'm very much LARPing as a Buddhist, but it's very good. I don't go to temple. I don't want to go to temple. I used to date a Thai girl, and she we would go to temple, but I don't want to go alone. Like I feel weird if I go to temple alone, you know. But yeah, I want to go to South Korea. I think I told Gopchan that I want to
Yeah,
go, and
yeah.
hopefully he and I can go to those temples and he can show me, and maybe get some coffee or a sandwich or something. I don't know.
Mm. He's the one who will pay for you, definitely.
No, 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 no.
No.
I pay.
No, I'm gonna force him.
I pay.
Okay, you made
Okay.
Irving to come here and you should pay for him. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so to be honest, my family believes in Buddhism, and we're for a long time, for a very long time, for my grandmother's grandmother, very long time. Anyway, we have our own temple. We're not owned it, but we have our own temple in Jeju Island. We usually pray, and we whenever we go to that island, we also go that temple, and we sometimes pray and meet some monks to chit
Wow.
chat or something. And yeah, I also graduated kindergarten, which is related to Buddhism.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
We
interesting.
so far we have some like Christian kindergarten, but like kindergarten related to Buddhism is pretty few in here. So yeah, right now I'm living in Gyeonggi-do, but before I used to live in Seoul, and that's the kindergarten that I usually go. And yeah, and my grandmother really liked it because she was very religious.
Wow. That's pretty cool. That's yeah. That'd be really cool to visit one day. If I ever go out there, and if it's not too far, I would like to go and visit. Um, yeah. I don't know. The band is called Cognizant, so that means to be aware.
Mm,
Awareness. And it for me, it kind of made an alignment that Buddhism is about being aware,
hmm
and
Like
acknowledging
self-awareness.
that,
Mm-mm-mm.
yeah, self-awareness, and acknowledging that death is coming, and a lot of things in this life that um yeah, become suffering, when we hold on to things or
Mm.
people. And that's why I like Buddhism, because I think so much every day, and I think it just helps me. That's why I like
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Buddhism. But like every religion, it's not perfect. There are bad monks, good monks.
Mm.
I'm still learning.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay, so we definitely buy you something related to Buddhism when you come here.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Okay, so now a question for Kevin. Cognizant
Mhm.
doesn't usually use screamings in the sound, right?
I I mean, there's a few. I kind of sprinkle them in. I don't. My thing is like like I said, like I come my like I listen to more, like I said, death metal. So a lot of like vocal influences are like I have are more like death metal influence. So like a
Mm,
lot of like low or like kind of guttural or sound really mean and tough. Like I like vocals like that. It's more of a personal preference. I mean, like I like both. I don't just I don't discriminate either one. But like to me, like I said, it's just my opinion. Like when I hear a lot of like screaming or highs or like yells, sounds kind of like whiny to me. Like someone
mm,
like kind of crying, and like but like when I hear stuff, I want to hear like someone like real mad and angry and like I don't know. To me, that sounds more projecting, like more like in your face, like more like just straight to the point. So like, but like I don't really do them so much on the first like album, but on the second album, there's a few sprinkled like highs that I do. But like when I do highs, I think of like I do like more like kind of like black metal or like something to like that sounds more aching, like more painful highs versus like the typical like grindcore like yelling sounding like highs where it sounds like someone's like crying, I guess, or whining. It's
Yeah,
like nya, 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 nya,
I like that stuff with like the, the band like Canthropy. They do that stop and go with the highs, and the band Shipbrains they do stop and goes, and they do the highs that like the very highs that are in your head, the screams. Those are very great. But for this band, we mostly do gore guts, black metal
Mm.
type growls and
yeah. Yeah,
screams.
Luke LeMay is definitely a like an inspiration for me.
Luke LeMay from Gore Guts.
Like even the way he writes too, from Wisdom to Hate's like I when I listen to that album, like to me vocally, like that's what I want to sound like, you know. I like even like what he writes, you know. I I try to mimic a lot of what he does. I told him that myself too. I was like, it was funny because there's been a couple of times like we got invited to go see them and like not to fanboy out too much and like in front of him or anything, but he's actually a really big fan of our band, which kind of surprised me. I'm sure it surprised Irving because like he's always talking about like, man, I love your stuff. Like I see your videos on YouTube all the time. Like I like what you guys are doing. I love like y'all incorporate grindcore with with the dissonant stuff and like to me that means a lot. Because like you know bands like like Gorguts and even like other bands like they're not even around anymore like Ripping Corpse or like Human Remains like those are also bands that I kind of like sonically like try to emulate in a sense so
Okay, I was about to ask you like, was there a particular reason you chose a guttural instead, and you answered the whole question. Thank you for that. And
yeah
so I'm gonna ask one thing. How often do you practice your vocals?
yeah not really much. I mean like sometimes I'll like listen to certain things like that I like to listen to at home and I'll like mimic it. I'll sing along to it. If there's like certain things like I don't know, like a different like certain bands like I'll hear and there's like a unique sounding like, hey, that sounds kind of cool. Like let me see if I can try that out, or try to mimic it. But I mean I don't know. Like I try not to like practice vocals much because like I don't know. There's been times where like not to say that like I've lost my voice like doing too much, before like trying to I guess like practice like or try to like sing all the time or like in my home like or in the car or something, but or like going to shows, seeing a band that I really like or singing along and I try not to do much like that anymore because like I've had times where I did lose my voice because I get so amped up when I see a band that I like and I'm up front trying to like sing along and stuff like that. But I really don't practice. I mean, other than like I mean, as far as like when I go to band practice, that's the only time I would practice. But like I try to come up with new things or try to come up with like new sounds or I guess more or less. But I mean, there's so many vocalists out there that do different things and like I admire every single aspect of different vocalists because like I don't know, like to me I learned that way and that's like a big thing for me. It's like trying to see kind of articulate those things and try to make it my own way. Yeah,
Oh, thank you. Oh,
I
so you
think.
said you
Mhm.
usually mimic or trying to sing along the bands that you like. And what was the most fun to sing along or mimic those vocals?
I don't know, like there's bands like a lot of like death metal bands that like especially like old school like stuff. Like I think the last show that I went to that I was really like singing along was like stuff like Deicide and Immolation, or like the classics, Morbid Angel, or like I think Morbid. What was it? What's Dave Vincent's Morbid Angel band?
I Am Morbid.
Yeah, I Am Morbid,
Oh.
where they do like the first like couple like Morbid Angel like albums.
Yeah, we're pretty picky on what Deicide albums or Morbid Angel albums. Well, actually, all Morbid Angel's pretty good, I think.
For the
I
most part,
I
yeah.
like the new stuff.
The new stuff is pretty good too. I think for me, like Morbid Angel, I think like Covenant, like that's one of my favorite albums. Like Deicide Legion is like a classic. Immolation, like you can't go wrong with most of those albums that Immolation's done. Like I love like that dark atmospheric weirdness. Like it's like kind of gloomy and like real like wavery. You know, it's just I like obviously Gorguts. But like the last band I can think of, I was like singing along to certain bands was like Deicide and Immolation. So
Mm. Yeah, thank you for answering. And so let's move on to the next question. Okay, let's talk a little about the second album. So, what's the biggest difference between the second album and the first one that you think?
I would probably say the speed. Like the first album was more like open sounding,
experimental.
experimental.
This one's a little bit cutthroat, like grindy.
Mm.
Yeah, grindy. Yeah, a lot more grind riffs. It all might be too fast to hear it. I think I might have poured a little bit more emotion into some of the parts. Um, like a song like Evolate. What is it? Evolution or what is it?
Evolution.
One of those songs that we wrote. We don't even know our own song names, but a lot of emotion and speed, um, and agony. I don't know. Definitely speed. That's all I can really think of. Technicality, more technical. Um, yeah.
I mean, lyric wise is a little more personal because I was going through a lot at that time. I was going through a lot of personal changes. You know, obviously relationships, and then losing loved ones. Like personally, like my mom, and like a lot of personal like agony and just like heartfelt like just pain. You know, it's a little it's like the first one was like more about oppressed stuff, but this album is like more like Irving was saying, it's a little bit more emotional and more like you know more
Inner conflict.
stuff.
I think there's a few. There might be a few things that I wrote in there. Inner conflict.
Yeah, and I think Alex helped a lot writing.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
He helped a lot writing lyrics on that one. And but like I said, yeah, it's just inner conflict and dealing with like a lot of trauma. Just a lot of stuff because no one wants to see like a family member pass and you know have to deal with grief, and it's sad to deal with stuff like that. So I, as far as like the writing aspect of it, yeah, it's a little more touchy like subject. It's just more personal.
I think I also used like maybe 19 guitars in that album. Maybe nine. I can't remember the number, but there's been where we would interchange or add four guitars in one song. Each song had like four guitars, and each guitar might have been, or no, two guitars might have been used. I don't know. I experienced it a lot with different amps and guitars.
Anyway, I'm really sorry for your loss, Kevin. I hope you overcome it well. And anyway,
Oh, oh yeah, I gotta take it day by day. I appreciate it. It
Yeah.
sucks, but hey, man, you just gotta move on with life. So can't really change anything. So it is what it is.
Part of life.
Yeah, okay, there are
Oh snap.
okay, three questions left. So, are there any genres you'd like to explore more? And it doesn't have to be metal or grindcore.
And I think I really like drum and bass. I want to explore more. I like jazz, R&B. I don't know, hip hop. You know, I've been listening to a lot of the old hip hop records. But more, I don't know. We Kevin and I have a pretty big broad in music, I would say.
Yeah, I listen like I wouldn't say for the band or anything more or less, but like I know everyone like in the band has a pretty unique taste of what we all listen to, but we all kind of understand and agree like what we want to sound like and what we want to write. But like we grab different influences from different things yeah, like Irving was saying, like he's more into like jazz, hip hop, and stuff like that. Like I listen to more hip hop than probably anybody in the band, like, but also like as kind of corny as this is, I love like '90s dance music and
Yeah,
what else? Like I like jazz, I like funk, I like soul, stuff like that, and
Ooh.
anything with a nice like cool groove, I'll listen to it. So.
yeah. Brad too. Brad, I think he's pretty broad. It expands in different music. Um,
Alex is probably the encyclopedia of like metal.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Like that guy knows every single band in the world
Ooh.
probably. That guy that guy like deep archives bands and like like a lot of times you're like, hey man, you ever check this out? And sometimes I'm like, yeah, I've checked that out before, but then there's bands where he's like I have no idea where he found certain bands from, but a lot of stuff it's like a lot of stuff that we listen like especially him is from like not from here. It's a lot of overseas stuff. It could be from like anywhere from Europe or Asia or like I know I know a lot of stuff he listens to is like a lot of black metal and a lot of that's like a lot of European black metal from
yeah.
like
Eastern European black metal.
Oh.
A lot of good stuff.
but yeah, that guy knows a lot. Like ever talk to that guy, he'll pick his brain. You'll learn something, from him. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
So,
Brian too. I mean, he listens to a lot of grindcore, and he's always in touch with that whole scene, so he
ooh.
knows. So especially because like he travels the most, so like he knows about bands from underground, local, wherever he plays. There's a lot of bands that we might not know about that he's like, man, y'all need to check this band out. So, but it's always cool, to hear different perspectives of like cool bands.
Mm. Okay, so this might be a random question, but are there any artists that is a guilty pleasure for you? Like for
mm,
my case, it definitely be a Justin Bieber.
what is it?
Justin Bieber.
Who?
Justin
Justin
Bieber.
Bieber.
Justin Peanut. Hold on. Hold on real quick. Come on, crate. Go in the crate. Crate.
I guess while he's taking care of those dogs, I guess. Like I said, I have a guilty pleasure on like '90s dance. Like I don't
Oh.
know if you've ever heard like La Bouche or like the Real McCoy or something like. It just takes me back to like a time when I was a kid. It's like growing up, music was always being played at home. Like my mom listens to a lot of like dance music and especially my dad and like my dad and my mom would listen to like a lot of like what would you call like those like the Mexican like
Tejano.
no not Tejano but like the romantic like Julio
Oh.
Iglesias or like Juan Gabriel or
Oh no.
Like I don't know, it's like more like romanticism, like singers, like like stuff like that. But like, or even like Selena, I grew up listening to stuff like that. So, but we all come from different backgrounds. So like,
Mm.
and then like I have an older brother, and all he listened to was like hip hop, like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, like Tupac, and like the only how I got into metal was through him because he was listening to like Metallica and Guns N' Roses. But then after that, I kind of like it was kind of like the opening, like like I got like extended my whole like genre after that with it was like a gateway to like metal for me.
Mm.
Because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't know who like Slayer was or Pantera or Slipknot or whatever. So I definitely grew up during a new metal timeline where a lot of those bands like Slipknot, Limp Bizkit, Korn were really popular when I was a kid. So I can't speak for everyone, but that was just that's how I got into metal. So
Yeah, I think like Kevin was saying, my parents listen to a lot of Tejano. So every now and then I have like a big obsession with it. And that also has like a romanticistic type of energy or emotion into the music. I really like the melodies, and they do help me write music with grindcore. But the lyrics, of course, suck, and the meaning behind them can be very cheesy. But to me, it's about the melody, and
Mm.
like even right now, I'm like on replay. I have a lot of like Yukika, which I think she's mainly a K-pop artist, but every now and then she'll do like city pop 80s rhythmic type of melodies, and I really like that. It just brings me back to, a lot of nostalgic memories. So that's probably my guilty pleasure right now.
Okay, thank you for sharing. So, next question. What are your musical directions and plans for the future?
Uh,
I mean, at some point we may write. It's funny because like we may write it like another album. We've have material for another album. I think we started writing a lot after we finished that last album, but there's a lot of different stuff has changed. Like Alex moving. I had a lot of personal stuff going on. I know Brad he had a kid not too like was
at
like
the beginning of the year.
yeah. So everybody's got their personal stuff going on. I know Irving and Brian are doing Tricito, and I know it's just trying to find the time we can all get together and hopefully record and write another
Yeah,
album.
like we have a couple songs. I say a couple. That's really a lot. Um, but with like my dad, he's old now, so I have to run the business by myself because we share a family business.
Oh.
So all those things into consideration, um, it's very hard to make time for everything. Especially now that we don't have a jam room. Like we used to have a jam room for Cognizant that was very big. It
Oh.
was like almost like a building because we had our own room, and the next door we had another big room that was basically a studio.
Whoa.
Um,
Good times.
yeah,
We would throw shows in our jam space. We
yeah,
would move all our equipment into his studio, which was next door, and we would basically like get a couple kegs and throw shows and
yeah, like
yeah,
beer kegs, big kegs. Yeah,
and have yeah, they're fun. A lot of
a lot of bands from different around the world would come and play in our jam room. So yeah, it was a different time. It was really great.
Well, that must be awesome.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun having. We had like obviously the guys from Deterioration would come down and play with us like at the jam room. I think Brian filled in for. I think the first show we've ever had was Brian was going to do Maryland Death Fest, and he was supposed to fill in for
Cap,
Captain Cleanoff from Australia, and I think they had some trouble. They didn't go to Mexico, right? Or did they?
no.
I think they had trouble getting into Mexico. I really don't know what happened. I think their drummer more or less couldn't get into the states, and they were forced to because like they had dates to play in Mexico, and they were kind of stuck in Texas because their
Mm.
drummer wasn't able to make it. So Brian was familiar with a lot of their materials, so he kind of helped them out and salvaged their tours. So and I think they had a bunch of dates where who was it? Was it PLF or I'm trying
Maybe.
to think of the other band that he was doing
Oh
MDF
yeah,
with.
he was doing PLF.
So I think they were doing a lot of shows together, leading towards MDF. So that was able to help out those guys and Captain Clean Off. But yeah, we've had other bands come and play, a lot of local stuff. We had all the like the homies come out and play, and it was always a good time. Like never really had any issues other than like we had a couple idiots like vandalize like the bathroom or something like that, but no fights, no nothing to that nature. But it was always a good time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for answering. And I have one question to Peanut. What is your
Peanut.
favorite treat?
I like weenie dogs, and I like biscuits. I like eggs. I like veggies. I like it all.
Yeah, thank you for answering, and I hope Irving gives you some of it after the interview.
Yeah.
Okay, so the saddest part of the interview now came. So, is there anything you'd like to say to your fans and listeners before we wrap up?
You have anything? I want to say we wish you guys peace, love, and I don't know, wisdom. Yeah, that's it.
I mean, if you have weed, smoke it. Yeah, I think.
If you have weed, beer, meth, cocaine, do it all in moderation. Just kidding. Don't do drugs.
do some, do some of them, but don't do all of them.
Okay, then doing
Yeah,
all of them must be a problem.
yeah.
Yeah,
We only smoke weed. We only smoke
Oh.
weed.
I I
Well, why he does, but
I partake in psychedelics. I like taking mushrooms. I a lot of the writing stuff was
mushroom.
mushroom, especially on the last album. It was kind of a mushroom induced
Yeah.
rage of writing stuff. So I could say for Brian too.
Yeah, we like shrooms. I forgot about that. We laugh a lot when we do shrooms.
Oh, really?
It was always a funny good time.
Yeah. I always take a little bit because I'm scared, and
Hmm.
then by the end of the night, I can't stop laughing. So, yeah. Yeah, it's
It's
Okay.
really
fun if you
weird.
do it in a moderate place, where there's not a lot of people and you're around uh, people that you enjoy being with. It's not so bad. So I think a lot of the times when like I'm in a room with them, jamming, and then we have mushrooms, and we tend to just laugh and just be dumb.
Yeah,
Like,
we try to keep it chill because we grew up a lot around a lot of drug addicts. So,
Oh.
especially with like the super talented musicians, they also tend to have a really big problem with drugs, and
yeah, it's sad, but
it's an experience watching them go
sad
through
to see
that.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Anyways, yeah, that's what we would like to say to everybody.
Okay, don't do
Thank you.
drugs.
Don't do drugs. Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I'm really grateful and thank you for taking your time. And that's it from us. Thank you so much for watching and please subscribe and follow for more interviews and
Thank you.
information.
Subscribe.